For millions of people, a regular medical appointment is the only thing keeping them alive. It's called dialysis, and it's an absolute marvel of modern medicine. But what happens if they miss it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. So let's just jump right into the big question here. If a patient misses several dialysis treatments, what's likely to happen? Is it A, pulmonary edema, B, a bacterial infection, C, severe dehydration, or D, something called marked hypokalemia? Don't worry, by the time we're done here, the answer is going to be crystal clear. Okay, but before we can even begin to answer that, we've got to back up a little. We first need to get a really solid handle on what dialysis actually is and the super important job it's doing inside the body. So, what's this treatment all about? At its heart, dialysis is a total lifeline. The easiest way to think about it, it's like a high-tech external super kidney. See, when a person's own kidneys just can't keep up with filtering all the gunk, the toxins and extra fluid from their blood, dialysis basically tags in to do the job for them. It's all about keeping the body in balance. So how does this artificial kidney actually work? Well, it's pretty amazing, really. It's this continuous loop that literally keeps people going. Step 1, blood is gently drawn out of the body. Step 2, it gets sent through this special filter. It's called a dialyzer that scrubs out all the harmful waste and excess fluid. And then step 3, that freshly clean blood is sent right back into the body. And you got to remember, this process goes on for hours, several times every single week. Okay, so you have this incredibly precise life-saving process. But what happens when you miss an appointment? What happens when that plug gets pulled, even for just one session? Well, things start to go wrong, and they go wrong fast. The consequences can be really, really serious. Almost immediately, the body basically starts poisoning itself. I mean, think about it. All that waste and extra fluid that the dialysis machine was supposed to get rid of, it suddenly has nowhere to go. So it just starts building up and up in the bloodstream. And that toxic overload, well, that's the starting pistol for a whole cascade of really dangerous problems. This buildup leads directly to a few major issues. First up, you get something called overhydration, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, right? The body is just waterlogged, holding on to way too much fluid. Now, this can lead to our second problem, pulmonary edema. That's just a fancy way of saying all that excess fluid starts to back up into the lungs, and as you can imagine, that makes it incredibly hard to breathe. And finally, you have hyperkalemia. This one's about potassium. You get a dangerously high level of potassium in your blood, and that can seriously mess with your heart. To really nail this down, it's actually super helpful to look at the flip side. What if the dialysis is too aggressive? What if it removes too much stuff? Looking at that opposite scenario is going to make the answer to our original question just pop. And yeah, seeing it laid out like this really makes it all click, doesn't it? On one side, if you miss dialysis, you get an overload of fluid and potassium. But on the other hand, if the treatment is too strong, you get the complete opposite, severe dehydration and potassium levels that are way too low. That right there, that's the key distinction we need. All right, so now we've got all the pieces of the puzzle. We know how dialysis works, we know what goes wrong when you miss it, and we even know what happens if you overdo it. So, let's bring it all home and go back to that question we started with. Okay, let's put it out there one last time. Now that you know about that buildup of fluid, that buildup of waste, which of these complications is the most likely result when a patient misses their treatments?
And the answer is A, pulmonary edema. It's a direct cause and effect chain reaction, right? You miss the treatment and fluid builds up. That fluid has to go somewhere, and a really dangerous place for it to end up is in the lungs. And we know for sure it's not dehydration or low potassium because we just learned that those happen from the opposite problem, dialysis that's too aggressive. So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. Dialysis isn't just another medical treatment. It's literally an external life support system. Missing a session isn't like skipping a routine checkup. No way. It's like flipping the off switch on the one thing that's stopping your body from being completely overwhelmed by its own waste. It's a powerful reminder of just how fragile that balance is and how critical this technology is to maintaining it.